A hard deadline for Harvard. Congress giving the university 2 weeks to provide documents on anti-Semitism and the steps being taken to address it on campus. Fox Friends Weekend co-host and fellow Harvard alum Pete Hegseth is here. Okay, Pete, so Congress wants documents. I don't think documents are going to do anything in Congress's hands. Congress does control one important thing, the purse. It could take money away from these guys, and that would create change.
I mean, as usual, documents in committees are a good sham way to put out a press release to say that you're doing something when you're really not doing anything. What's Harvard going to show? That they debated Claudine Gay's prep for her testimony, what they debated on how they handled student groups, whether they allow blatant anti-Semitism or only kind of anti-Semitism as speech. I mean, there's not much we're going to learn that we don't already know. The basis of DEI, and we're going to talk about this, I know, in a little bit in the next segment, is a Marxist philosophy based on breaking down America. The fact that we haven't woken up to that yet in our Congress and been willing to evict that from our institutions.
Evict it from the institution.
And tie it to the funding that Harvard still gets hundreds of millions of dollars of federal funding for research grants and things. Why should they get a dime while they're poisoning our kids? And that's that. Until we do things like that, we're not actually serious.
Well, Michigan is in the crosshairs for all of their DEI and anti-Semitism on campus as well. As a matter of fact, it's got more than 500 jobs dedicated to DEI. It costs $30 million a year. So that is a massive amount of money. That is an investment being poured into, just as you said, kind of turning our nation upside down.
Yeah, but you know what Michigan does so well? They spend a lot more money on their football team. And their football team just won the national championship.
Guess who the coach was?
Jim Harbaugh.
Yep, guess where he came from? 49ers.
Oh.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's her goal every segment. The
Continue.
Well done. So as long as Big Blues win in championships,
Right.
all the alumni are happy. Go Big Blue. Chant it. Send your money. That is indicative. I love college football, Brian, but that is indicative of every problem that we face in higher ed.
Yeah.
Every graduate wants to wear the yellow M and they're blue and, you know, trash talk Ohio State, all that, while they're cheering for a place that's destroying our country.
Yeah.
And you're spending $30 million a year on diversity, equity, inclusion efforts, part-time, full-time, whatever they, Michigan wants to deny it all and say we're not spending that money.
Right.
They're probably spending more than
that.
And it's embedded in their curriculum, yet we keep sending our kids and we keep sending our dollars and these universities get more powerful. These Midwest universities, Indiana, Michigan, are some of the sleeper, most left-wing universities in America.
And we're focused on Harvard. Great, Harvard's got a problem. There are hundreds of colleges out there who are doing the same thing, and they're flying under the radar, and they want it all to blow over with Harvard and Ackman, and we can just forget about everything else going on.
In corporate America, you've got some companies that are backing away from this because they've seen that backlash. Do you think that it will spread amongst the universities when people realize it's unpopular?
Maybe there'll be some that find a strategic position or a market play or an opportunity to say, hey, we produce graduates with skills that aren't woke and aren't going to demand gender pronouns when they arrive. But I think it's few and far between. And, you know, a lot of what we're seeing right now is not, yes, some are moving away from DEI, but a lot of them are just renaming it.
Right.
What was it called? IEND.
Sustainability now, or responsible business, or you make something up.
Or now there's an A. I don't know if you know that. It's DEIA. Get ready for that, accessibility. So we're adding letters, taking them away, reordering the lettering, whatever it takes. You just don't change anything.
Quickly, there was a great story about a super commuter. There's a journalist in New York City who went home to Ohio to try to save money. He calculated if rent's $3,200 a month for a one-bedroom. He wanted to see if he could beat the cost of that, but he didn't.
He tried, but he did not. Now, I'm a super commuter. I commute every week.
And a supercomputer.
Definitely, I've never been
that
called
explains a lot.
But I commute in every weekend. It would be really difficult. I don't care. The price of airfare and the price of hotels, it's still going to be tough to beat, even if you're saving a lot of rent in Ohio. He tried. Couldn't do it.
My favorite quote is, he said, the good news is I flew so much and I stayed in so many hotels, I kept my elite status at Hyatt and American.
But for you, it was about quality of life, right?
Absolutely.
Less than cost.
His was about rent in this particular instance. Mine was about sanity.
Right.
Fair
enough. Pete, always good to see you. Thank you for stopping by.